Well, would you look at that view? What a treat. Welcome to the 2021 model Royal Enfield Himalayan. Now, in my eyes, I think this is a true, pure adventure motorcycle, and this is really what adventure motorcycling's about. Let's take her for a cruise, see what she's about. So a massive thank you to Bike Treads in Swindon for lending me the bike for today. If you're interested, guys, go check them out. Hugely appreciated. But look at this off-road track. We're a little bit off-roading. I thought we'd start here, because this is what this bike's all about. Going adventuring and hitting those little tracks and just going up them and exploring what's up the other side. Of course, quite steep here, steeper than I thought. It's just stopped raining. It's tipping it down earlier. Oh, look at the size of that bull. That is humongous. Two of them. See, this is what motorbiking is all about, just these little adventures. So just here in the UK, just outside of Swindon, near Bike Treads, the dealership, there's a horse. Hey, buddy. And literally, I just rode up this track. It's a local farm. The road ended, so I just kept going and just rode up here. Now, I didn't go too far out of respect to Bike Treads. I don't want to get their bike too dirty. It's not mine, so I'm not going extreme off-roading. Very nice calm gravel track. But yeah, the Himalayan, guys, interesting prospect. First came out actually in India, because as we all know, or if you don't, Himalayans are all made in India now. I think a few maybe in Leicestershire in the UK, but yeah, mainly in India. The company's based in India and it's owned by India, or an Indian company, I should say. So the Himalayan first came out in India for the Indian market in 2016. But in 2018, the UK and the rest of Europe, and I think the States, don't take my word for the States, I'm not 100% sure, but we were blessed with it in 2018, and since then it's actually done very well, and I think it's basically hit the market of being a retro-styled adventure bike. Small capacity, so it's not a fast bike this, it's a 411cc single engine. You're really not going to be breaking any records for speed on the bike. So basically with the Himalayan, that's the vibes I'm getting. Just chilling out. At the moment I'm just pottering around these villages, just sort of cruising around, chilling out and being mindful and really soaking up the experience of motorcycling rather than just blapping it and enjoying the speed and the performance, which is great fun, don't get me wrong, I love that. But there's something just so endearing and fun about this motorbike. And those vibes mixed with an adventure style. Sorry, I'm gushing all over this bike at the moment, I haven't even got into tech specs or anything. That vibe mixed with the adventure style, it's just so much fun. And I think, being big on mental health, I'm all well into the benefits of motorbiking for mental health. I think along with the adventure style and the chilled out, fun, unintimidating vibes of this motorcycle, it's fantastic for your mental health and general well-being. Absolutely lovely little bike. What's the engine like? So it is a single 411cc motor. It's not got a load of horsepower, so I haven't ridden this smaller cc motorbike in a while, and when you put that's full throttle, it just very slowly builds up. It's got the legs, it'll go 60 miles an hour, 70 miles an hour, quite comfortably actually, we'll do that in a bit. Yeah, it's just a smooth, chilled out riding style, along with the long travel suspension, 200mm travel at the front, I believe it's 180mm travel at the rear. It's actually slightly reminiscent of the Honda Africa Twin with the 21-inch front as well. Basically just cruising, very relaxed. It handles the bumps really well, the suspension. Doesn't have self-cancelling indicators, sorry about that, got to remember that. But yeah, just absolutely perfect for these sort of types of country lanes. And one thing actually I'd like to say that I saw on, if you haven't seen them, check their channel out, they're really brilliant channel and great guys as well. Mr. Darcy and the Old Man, great YouTube channel, check them out, he's done a brilliant review on the Himalayan. But I know exactly what he was saying, something in his review, he was saying it's very balanced, the bike and the handling specifically. I completely agree, that's actually the first thing that stood out to me, is just how well balanced it is in the corners. It's not snatchy at all, there's no sudden lean over which you get on some bikes. It feels solid, you're quite high up, but it does feel solid and very predictable in the corners. So we're just going to come into here. I want to demonstrate something. First off, the riding position. It's really, I hope this isn't a private driveway. I'll turn around down here. The riding position is great for standing up. It's very reminiscent if you've ridden an Africa Twin to an Africa Twin. The handlebars are really high up. You're nice straight back. But another benefit of this bike, which is incredible, I experienced on the tracks earlier, is, might have to move my forward GoPro. Let's just bring him this way a bit. Oh, such a nice day today, getting such good vibes mentally. Been feeling a bit sort of rough recently, like, don't know whether it's not COVID, I've tested, but some sort of man flu. Anyway, the weather's helping. Right, so the turning circle is incredible on this bike, full lock to the right. This is pretty much a single lane. And I could get round there, but I don't want to scratch Bike Tread's bike. Yeah, just up taking some shots up on those gravel tracks earlier. The turning circle's so good for just turning around. And on top of that, the weight of the bike is a massive, massive benefit. Onto the weight being a benefit, how much does she weigh? Well, weighing in at 199 kilograms wet. For an adventure bike that can go off-road, etc., along with the panniers and luggage storage capabilities of this bike, that weight is such a massive benefit, along with the turning circle. For going off-road, it really is a great concept. You're not ragging it off-road, but it just fills you with confidence to just hit these country lanes and the tracks. Yeah, it just encourages you basically to go exploring. I can imagine how much fun, I've very luckily fortunate to have gone to India a few years ago and sort of travelled around a bit around the country, but I would love to ride one of these through India. Oh my god, that is the dream. It just feels absolutely made for that. Doesn't have to be India, could be any country, but great for exploring. So, highly unprofessional of me, I can't remember whether I've mentioned the price yet, but here we go, I'll say it again if I already have. £4,699, just let that sink in. That is fantastic value for money, seriously. Now, this bike does have a couple of extras which I'll go over, which Bike Treads have had fitted, which I would personally have fitted as well. Of course, busy road here. But yeah, for £4,699, I think you're onto a winner. You're genuinely getting a lot of bike for your money, and a lot of fun and potential adventures for that amount of money. You don't need a huge, big capacity adventure bike to have fun on and to go adventuring. I think there's definitely something to be said that you could have more fun on the lower capacity motorcycles. So I just want to go over quickly, guys, what Bike Treads have had fitted to this bike, so you know what you're getting as a standard and then what you can potentially have. So the two panniers on the back, hard panniers, those are extras, along with the engine protection bars here either side of the bike. That's an extra. Yeah, and I forgot for a minute what it was, but extra, these handguards. These are quite a cool feature, actually, the handguards. I hope that comes out on camera, but they don't come fully around and attach here to the handlebars. There's a sort of gap here, which I'm not too sure. They feel quite strong. I'm not too sure how they would fare up in a crash or a dropping scenario. So guys, onto the panniers. Two hard panniers either side. Yeah, actually nice size and nice quality. Nice sort of, I'm not sure if they're aluminium, but they're definitely an alloy, and they feel really quality. Now, I promised Bike Treads I would mention this. So apparently a lot of people do sometimes suggest that, well, they're going to get wet inside. It's just not worth it. Well, separate key, little key there for the panniers. I don't know why I went, it's not hard to open at all. Open up, and you do have to spec them. There's a bag, waterproof bag internals for the panniers, so they're designed to have that waterproof bag, and then it's 100%, well, 99% waterproof. So brakes, guys, up front you have a single 300mm disc with a 2-piston floating caliper, and onto the rear brakes you have a single 240mm disc with a single piston floating caliper. Alright, so let's hop on her, show you another benefit of the Himalayan. The seat, so it's not a flat seat as you can see, hopefully. It sort of goes down there for the rider seat and then the pillion on the back. It's a really comfy seat. It's quite wide, got some nice cushioning on it, but the benefit compared to other adventure bikes, even if I was parked just here, little grass lay-by on a big bore adventure bike, I had to have thought about getting on the bike then with the panniers on the back, getting your leg over, lifting the bike off of the stand. That can be quite hard work and a realistic place to drop the bike. So that's the benefit of the Himalayan. I feel like I could just ride it through there, through those logs into the field, you know, it just feels so easy. Oh yes, she's alive! Here the single beast. So yeah, it's not mega fast, but it's great fun. And the main thing, I know I always say this about bikes, but it's the character of these Royal Enfields. You just feel like you're going on like an expedition, an old school, proper adventure. So something that adds to the character that's really cool is actually, I first thought it was a bit overkill, all of the dials here, but I really like it. It's so simple. Analog speedometer on the left, with the nice Royal Enfield emblem in the middle, which is nice and old school. I do like old school. Yeah, and then a little tiny little rev counter on the right, your fuel gauge, and then something that I think every single adventure bike should have, and it's awesome because my sense of direction is horrendous. It's got a little compass. It's got an electronic compass down there, which I think is awesome. So southeast is currently off of my port quarter, if you're a sailor and you know those terms. Yeah, that's really handy. Like if you've just got your map and you're lost, then you can use the compass. However, Royal Enfield have got one up on you there as well. This little puppy on the right, it's not a puppy, sorry, I don't know why I say that. This thing on the right is it's like a turn-by-turn navigation thing. It hooks up with your Google Maps on your phone. You download the Royal Enfield app and then you can connect your Google Maps to this. That was introduced for the 2021 model. If you go for a 2022 model, and as they were telling me at Bike Trades, you don't get this anymore. They've taken that off, and the reason being, which I think is quite interesting and a good move from Royal Enfield, is because of the shortage of chips at the moment. Not chips like eating chips with ketchup and mayonnaise. The shortage of vehicle chips, I don't really know what they are. It just sort of helps controls electronic things, but I do know there's a shortage of them, and because of that, Royal Enfield have actually stopped putting these on the 2022 bikes. It's not because there's a problem with them, it's just because there's a shortage of chips and it would delay your order for the bike by a matter of months really. So good move by Royal Enfield to go, we'll just scrap that, let's just get the customers their bikes as quick as possible. You can still order this, there is a waiting date. Exactly how long I'm not sure. You can give Bike Trades a ring. Yeah, ask them, I'm sure they can give you more detail, but yeah, that doesn't come with a 2022 model Himalayan. So just go over a few more features. Oh, such a lovely area around here. Sorry, I keep on saying that. The screen up here, it's non-adjustable. It's actually quite good. I do the old hand test. There it is. And it is literally just touching the top of my helmet. I'm not sure how they've managed that because it's not high. You can easily see over it. I'm 5'9", very easily eye line over the screen. Along with that, which again I think is a very cool feature, these bars here. And they've got the emblem Royal Enfield on the side. First of all, they look just quite cool. I think they add a nice feature to the bike, make it look slightly more sort of bulky and substantial. A cool thing about it is, because these bikes are designed for really going exploring in far off places, you can strap things to them. So seriously, for instance, you could strap a little jerry can with some fuel in, maybe one side, and then the other side a jerry can with some water. That's what I would do. So if you've got your tent loaded up on the back in the panniers, maybe strapped to the pillion seat, then you've got fuel, you've got your water, you're good to go. You can just go wherever you want for ages. I think that's really cool. And that leads into another benefit of the Himalayan, is its overall simplicity. It's a single engine, there's no riding modes or anything like that. You can disable the rear ABS, I believe, which is good for off-roading, but other than that, there's really very minimal electronics, so minimal things to go wrong, and if something does go wrong, it's fairly easy to fix. So guys, let's get on to some negatives, which you sort of have to do on these reviews. All bikes have negatives, no bike is perfect. Negatives, well, yeah, okay, the power. If I'm being completely honest, I have found myself thinking I would like a little bit more power for on the road. It does have its charms with the less power, but for on UK roads, on an A road, if you just want a bit of a rush of pulling the throttle on and just picking up the speed a little bit, you don't really get that from this engine, so that could be a downside. Other than the power, any more downsides? I'm really struggling to pick them. I think if this did have too much more power, then you could pick a fair few downsides, like maybe the braking's not too strong, the handling in the corners possibly a little bit vague, etc. There's lots of things you could get into about it. However, it's not that powerful. So when you're in the corners, you don't really notice a lack of response in the cornering. You don't really feel like you need a 17-inch front wheel, it's 21-inch by the way, to dip into the corners, because you're not going that fast. You just simply don't need it. Yeah, it sort of counteracts those negatives with the lack of power. It's interesting balance. So we're just coming onto a dual carriageway really briefly here. The speed wise, we're at 50, 60. It's really comfortable at 60 miles an hour. I feel like I'm on a sort of mini adventure bike. Okay, another possible downside is it's only got 5 gears max. There's no 6th gear, which we'll find out now. Oh, we're turning off. I don't think is much of a problem. It would be nice to have a 6th gear as a sort of overrun gear to smooth it out a little bit at quicker speeds. However, we're going 55, but you can go 60 very comfortably. And actually fairly good wind protection, whether it's because I'm in the slipstream, which I don't think I am, of that lorry ahead. Okay, because it's a damp day, I'm not filled with confidence coming into a corner there with the 21-inch front, but that's the same with any adventure bike with a 21-inch front. I don't get the confidence from that front end. Right, as we round off the review, come back to Bike Treads to give them their bike back. You do feel like you're on a little mini expedition on this thing. I got the panniers on the back, you got these bars up the front, you got the sort of vibes from the engine, the screen, the Mickey Mouse sort of round mirrors, handguards. I feel quite cool, like a proper kitted out mini adventure bike. I've got to mention as well, the dealership, they were telling me, tried and tested, you can genuinely get around 90 miles per gallon from this single engine, which that's just incredible. I mean, everyone should be riding one of these. Save the planet. Also amazing for adventures and everything as well. The guy was literally telling me here in Bike Treads I could literally just ride up to Scotland now on that one fuel tank, which is pretty cool, I think. Oh, whose Speedmaster's that? It's a low, beautiful bike. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you liked the review as per usual. Don't forget to subscribe. If you want to see another one of Royal Enfield's really nice bikes that I was sort of sold on as well, different to this though, check out this vid here. I'll pop it up on the screen, the Interceptor 650. Ciao bella.